So a few weeks ago, I made one of the biggest mistakes of my entire life. And what was the mistake? Buying white trainers. I've worn them for 2 days, and I never had so much anxiety and paranoia in my whole life, and they're ruined. Now, as you can see, the suede, it's got colour dye marked in there. It's got dirt all on the suede. The laces are dirty. Dirt on the back. And I've wiped them down as much as I can, but it still won't come off. Now, I did initially feel like throwing them away, because like I said, I never worn white trainers in my whole life. First experience, never ever again will I buy white trainers. So anyway, I thought I'd review a product that I've seen that can apparently make your trainers clean, no matter how dirty they are. Now, this is the product, Crepe Culture. I seen it in JD, it cost me £16. I thought, let's just give it, as a last resort, so let's give it a quick go on it. So let's get straight into it and let's see if this product actually works and makes my trainers white again. Right, so let's get this open. So you have 3 products in here, yeah? You've got the brush, the bamboo liquid, and the microfiber cloth. The case is nice. Right, so that's what it's looking like. It looks pretty professional, doesn't it? Right, so what you got to do, you got the instructions on this side here. So first thing is first, pour warm water into a container. We've done that. Dip this brush into the container. And I've got to apply a small amount of this onto the brush. So let's get that going, yeah? Honestly, stinking. Never, ever, ever again. Honestly, the whole time I was wearing them, I was greeting people, people are stepping on my shoes, people dropping drinks, splashing on my shoes. Never ever again. But anyway, we live and we learn. So I just dipped it and I rinsed it, so it was pretty wet. I think that should be enough. Let's open this bottle. It smells nice. I think you gotta open this little plastic thing off it. It's bloody hard to get off. Anytime. Alright, give me a few moments. I'll leave that in there. Alright, so you put a bit of this solution on there. I'll put it on here for you. I think that's too much, but okay. And then we start dipping and scrubbing. Right. So all on the suede. I think the main bit it ruined is the suede part, because once dirt is on the suede, it ain't coming off. So let's get on the suede nicely first. So you like that bit of dirt right by there. Do another little dip. So it's quite soapy once you start doing it. Look. Dip it a bit more. I need to wipe it with a microfiber, don't I? Almost missed a crucial step. Right. I think it's taken off the stains. let's give it a proper clean first and let it dry. So obviously wipe on the suede properly as well. Get in all the little crevices. Not gonna lie though, white trainers, they do look proper fresh. When you're like wearing some nice jeans and that, they do look clean. But as I said, I just don't think it's worth the headache of having to clean them every time you wear them out. That's why dark colours do me alright. This should be done now. I don't think the blue dye is going to come off because that's in the shoe and I don't want the inside of the shoe to get wet. Let me try and dip a bit of this. Right, so I'll leave this in the sun, let that dry. Let me just finish doing this shoe. But I can notice a difference on these already though. I should have done a proper before and after, but it's alright. And if you are watching guys, I'd appreciate it if you can at least like the vid, drop a comment, and best of all, if you can subscribe.
I've got one more shoe to do after this, but this was the main troubled shoe I had to sort out.
Right, so while we let them dry, let's move on to the other shoes. And these are even worse, full on white. Now, they don't look that dirty, only because the first time I ever wore these out was on a night out. It was the biggest mistake, my #1 mistake ever. You don't really pay too much attention if you're in a club or something, but when I got home, these are basically black. So I think because I cleaned them straight away, they don't look too bad, but they still need a good scrub. But the laces are worse. So let's get these scrubbed. Sorry for the radio silence. I'm just too focused on getting these cleaned right now. I want to make sure I get a good job done. You want to make sure when you're cleaning it with the cloth, so I think it's been about 10 minutes. So while I was waiting for the trainers to dry, I was cleaning my other trainers. So like I said, I normally get dark colours like these, so I can't tell if they're dirty or not, because I wear them more. It's obviously dirty, so I just give them a quick clean anyway. But even with the black trainer, like where I've cleaned it, these are my most worn trainers, and they look brand new again. Give like a new little shine to it as well. And obviously these ones, again, I wear them most, and they did have some dirt marks on it as well. Like on the white bit by here, there was some on the suede. But again, you can't tell much before and after with these, but for me they look clean anyway. But anyway, the main part is these trainers here. Now, this one especially, the right foot, I remember, if you can go back to the start of the vid, I did have some red colouring right by there and some blue colouring by there. I don't know how I got it, but it wouldn't come off. So overall, the colouring has pretty much come off. I can see a tiny little red trace, but it's barely noticeable. So the mark on there was food colouring. and imagine how hard it is to get off. I tried everything on there, but it wouldn't come off. But this thing is taking most of it off. But overall, if you can see, it looks like a brand new shoe again. And I'm happy with that. Very, very happy. Same with this one as well. Pretty much looks like it's out the box again. The only little thing is like with suede, it is a bit harder. So I've noticed like little parts like this, the threading, some of it don't come off with the actual brush. So I just dip my finger in the water with a bit of oil and get the cloth and just do it like that and it comes off. But yeah, look. Now I can wear these with some more confidence again now. And as I said, with these, they were clean anyway, but I just give them a little scrub down. The only thing is, like, some marks just don't come off. Like there's a black mark by there. I've tried to scrub it a lot, even with the cloth, it just don't come off. All right, so my overall thoughts then on this product. I definitely recommend it, and I think it's worth it as well. It was £16. I got it from JD. As I said, it was the last resort because I was so fed up of the trainers being dirty. I just thought, let me just try something in it. But yeah, I definitely recommend it. Even if they're not for white trainers, if you even got black trainers or dark trainers, and they're just dusty and dirty and they need a good little clean, it's worth it anyway. It's a good little thing to have in your kit. But yeah, that's the end of that anyway. I appreciate everyone watching. As I said before, drop a like, drop a comment, subscribe most of all. HBO, Harper Brother out. I'm trying to make it now, but I've got more content coming soon, so make sure you all subscribe. And as I said, like, share, follow, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Ciao, ciao.